Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the Dads Watching Sports podcast. It is episode 45 of our podcast, and we thank you so much for joining us. I am Michael Draper. He is Kyle Castles, and it is Sunday, December 13th, 2020. We are broadcasting live on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, the All Access Sports Facebook page as well. And as always, you can download our show anytime, anywhere, any place, wherever you download podcasts. And if you're doing that, thank you so much. And if you have the opportunity to subscribe, Kyle, there's a little button over there when you're listening to podcasts where you just hit this little subscription button and it subscribes. And guess what? Every single week, a new fresh Dads Watching Sports downloads automatically on your device. That's pretty cool, huh?
I mean, who wouldn't want to hear this voice every single week? Mike, I know I got 2 people subscribed to this past week, because I watched them subscribe.
Nice. Well, I appreciate that, you 2 people, and we want you to not only subscribe, but we want you to give us a review, give us a 5-star rating.
Oh, they already gave us 5-star ratings too, because I watched them do that too.
Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. We appreciate that. I feel like I'm dropping the ball here. I need to get more people doing that, Kyle. So challenge accepted. And always you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, where all the kids are, wherever they're at, whatever app they're on. I'm sure we're on there as well. Like I said, Kyle, it is Sunday, December 13th, and I know you know what that means. It is James Draper's birthday. And my dad, James, he likes a lot of good things, a lot of fine things in life, and one of those is
eggs and ketchup.
He likes eggs and ketchup, but he also loves some Josh Groban. And so I'm playing a little Josh Groban, You Raised Me Up, in James's honor. We would listen to that all the time as back in the day. So, Dad, happy birthday. We actually got to see him today. Most people that listen to the show, if you listen to us pretty often, my dad lives in a retirement home. He's had a really rough time with this isolation stuff, and today was his birthday. We got to go see him. We also got him one of those little Alexa shows where you can do like FaceTime videos. So we get to see him a little bit more. So, Dad, happy birthday. I believe 68 years young today is Mr. Draper. Kyle, speaking of songs, last week we had our holiday song bracket. We had the Bracketeers join us, TJ and I believe it was Joe from the Bracketeers. They were fantastic and provided us some great votes. Our final 4 was Oh Holy Night, and it took on Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. And then the other bracket we had Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer versus the sleeper of the bracket, the Cinderella Story, Feliz Navidad. If you remember correctly, it was your beloved wife who knocked Feliz Navidad out of the bracket, moving Rudolph on to the championship, where it went up against Oh Holy Night. And Kyle, Oh Holy Night taking our holiday songs bracket, the inaugural bracket for that topic for Dads Watching Sports. What were your overall thoughts on Oh Holy Night walking away with the title?
Look, I don't know that Oh Holy Night, I don't think you could go wrong there, right? I mean, that is a beautiful song, and if sung well, it's powerful, and I can get some goosebumps listening to it. I hate to see Feliz Navidad go so far, and I can't. It's not even. I don't think I even put it on my initial list. It's just not a good Christmas song.
That's blasphemy, sir. Blasphemy. We listened to it all weekend long. So again, if you haven't checked out the Bracketeers, check them out on Twitter. They're fantastic. They're hilarious. They do a great job putting together brackets. Kyle, one bracket that they had this past week was the most hated sports figure bracket. And they had, I believe it was 16 individuals. The finals ended up being O.J. Simpson versus Michael Vick. In that where OJ, the juice, was loose, but not for too long, as the juice ended up getting voted the number 1 most hated sports figure. But it led me to, we're good buddies with them. I'm going to steal their idea. Our top 5 most hated sports figures. Kyle, I'm going to give you mine first, change it up a little bit here. So my number 5 is a guy who a lot of people like this guy, especially in our neck of the woods in Nashville for a brief period of time. My number 5 is Vince Young. I just never liked that guy. When he was at Texas, didn't like him. When he was at the Titans, didn't like him. And just not a Vince Young fan. So I got Vince at number 5. Number 4, I've got to go with I'm going to, and this is a little bit of a foreshadowing to our our conversation after the break, but I'm going to wrestling, to WCW, and there is no one that I dislike more than Kevin Sullivan of WCW, the Taskmaster, man. He was a rough one. I didn't like old Kevin. Number 3, I don't think anybody on the face of the earth right now would say that they liked Tanya Harding. You remember what happened between her and Nancy Kerrigan, and man, she takes a lead pipe. It's kind of like the guy that took the lead pipe to Hulk Hogan's knee. She took it to Nancy Kerrigan's knee and ended up getting caught and all that. Number 2, I've got Christian Laettner, obvious reasons. And then number 1, and this is because this guy is a jerk and he's a low down, dirty cheat, and nobody on the face of this earth likes him, including the Matt Kirk, even though he coached his Razorbacks, and that is Bobby Petrino. Is my number 1 most hated sports figure. So, Kyle, who are your top 5 sports figures that you just can't stand?
So I thought we were trying to go with the 5 most hated, like overall, not my 5.
That's fine. You just do you, man. You do you.
I was confused. I'm going to give you what I think are the most hated sports figures right now in America. At number 5, I have Rob Manfred, the commissioner of the Major League Baseball. When he came out right before this COVID season and said he didn't understand what the big deal was about the World Series trophy and it being just a piece of tin or metal, or I forget the word he used, that's enough to make people hate you. If you're going to be the commissioner of a sport, you need to act like your championship means something. At number 4, look, there are some people that are too perfect. And I can't stand those people. You know, you can't be good looking. You can't be married to a supermodel, and you can't be the quarterback that's won the most Super Bowls in NFL history. You also can't still be one of the best quarterbacks in the league at 42 years old.
That's why he's the GOAT, man. Not only in football, but in life.
Tom Brady at number 4.
Yeah.
Now, number 3, there is not a single person that likes this man. And we dislike him for a ton of reasons, mostly because it was unnecessary what he did. Okay. And that is Barry Bonds. He's a Hall of Famer without steroids. He's a 5-tool player. Go be a 5-tool player. Go show off that you're in the top 20 of batting average, home runs, stolen bases, everything, and be considered one of the best ever without the steroids.
I tell you, if Mr. Brandon Combs is watching our show from Triple Shot / Man Hour, he is going to jump in here real quick because he's a huge Barry Bonds guy. I think he sent me a picture not too long ago. He got an autographed baseball from Barry Bonds. So actually, Combs, if you're out there, let Kyle know what you think.
Trash it. At number 2, and he's hated because April now, he comes out on stage with the first pick, the first round, and you can't hear him say it because they boo him.
Okay.
Roger Goodell.
Yep.
Commissioner of the NFL.
The commish.
And the number 1 most hated sports figure in America is unwanted, is unneeded, is unwarranted. I think this is the first word I was looking for. Because he's not a bad guy. He's actually a good dude. LeBron freaking James.
LeBron, yes. And LeBron's got so many haters. Matt Kirk, that used to be on this show, we might even have a Kirk appearance.
Well, he used to be on the show for a reason.
Because he called him LeBron, man. And LeBron, I agree with that, man. He is anything but a LeBron. He's a great one.
He's the greatest player of his generation. Does that make him the greatest of all time? Probably not. But he's the best we got right now.
That he is. And Kyle, you know what I love about LeBron? He's never thrown a shoe.
He has never thrown a shoe.
Because honestly, who throws a shoe, man? Who throws a shoe?
Honestly.
Well, apparently the kid Wilson for Florida does and gives his game. Is that worse than the fifth and miss from the Egg Bowl last year?
Look.
Given what's at stake.
At the end of the day, there are multiple plays in a game. There are multiple points in a game where things can go one way or another. It's not just on this one play. Florida had multiple opportunities. Defense gets 2 more stops. That doesn't matter. Offense scores 2 more times. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, but that kid making that boneheaded play when they could have gotten the punt and gone down and scored and won the game, and I loved it. I loved every single second.
But who throws a shoe?
That who throws a shoe. Yeah, so that was a pretty wild inning. If you hadn't checked it out, LSU Florida didn't really mean a whole lot for LSU, but Florida had a lot riding on it. Potential playoff spot had they won the SEC championship game next week. And Wilson throws the shoe, gets the personal foul penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct. LSU moves down, kicks a field goal. Florida misses a field goal, and LSU wins. Kyle, let's talk some more college football. Gus Malzahn out at Auburn. That just came out today. That is now the 3rd SEC coach. I think I saw, I think it was either Dan Wetzel or somebody tweeted earlier this season or before the college football season with, it's going to be boring because no coaches are going to get fired during the COVID season. We've seen 3 now in the SEC. Malzahn, the newest one. What does Auburn do? Were you surprised to see this?
So here's the thing. Gus came in to Starkville. I'm a NC State fan. We all know this. Gus came into Starkville, beat up on the Bulldogs 24-10. He danced his happy tail right on out of Starkville, right on out of Auburn, Alabama, with a $21.5 million buyout.
Yep.
Your man's is okay. Right?
Can we all not be that lucky to get $21 million to not work?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
So, first off, he needs to take some time off.
No, he doesn't. You know where he needs to do? He needs to come to Lexington, Kentucky, and be the offensive coordinator at the university.
No, because he needs to sit on his $21.5 million. If he goes and gets another job, I think he has to forfeit some or all of it.
Okay. Well, then never mind. Yeah. So go enjoy. Go enjoy.
Now, what Auburn is going to do? Here's the thing: Auburn doesn't make that move if they don't have something up their sleeve. I don't think. Not at this point. Not under COVID situations. I think you need to keep your eye on Hugh Freeze up there at Liberty. Unless they got what's his name over there at Coastal Carolina.
Does Auburn go after Sarkisian under Saban and try to pull the rug out from under Saban and hire his associate coach?
I don't think so.
If you're Sarkisian, do you chance taking that job knowing you would face Saban every single year?
I don't.
I don't either. Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
I think it's got to be somebody from the outside. Honestly, who had some pretty good games and who did well against Nick Saban, and that's Hugh Freeze when he was at Ole Miss.
That is true.
And let's be honest, at this point, the only thing Auburn cares about is beating Nick Saban in that Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
So you do that. I mean, that's the only thing that saved us last year.
Yeah.
Was beating Saban. So, I think Hugh Freeze is that's the one to watch.
It'll be interesting. And I tell you what, Kyle, it might also be interesting to watch Hugh Freeze possibly coming on the Dad's Watching Sports podcast.
Oh, a little teaser there. I see what you did.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Kyle, somebody else on the move. I don't know if you remember Mackenzie Milton, UCF quarterback, was having a phenomenal season for them, led them to an undefeated season. They beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl a couple years ago. Absolutely destroyed his knee in a game 2 years ago. He's not their starting quarterback, even though he's healthy. So he's decided to move on. So he announced today where he was going. I don't know if you saw this.
I missed this.
He announced he's going to Tallahassee to play at Florida State, which I think is very interesting because Mackenzie Milton, when he was healthy, was one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah.
And you have to feel good for that kid to be able to go and try something new. And so I hope, I don't really care about Florida State one way or the other, but I hope he's able to go there and have some success and have a rest of his, playing career there.
Yeah, I hope it works out well. He has not come back and looked the little bit of time he's gotten in. He hasn't looked like the same kid before the knee injury. I mean, running was a lot of what he did, and I don't know that maybe it's there and he's not trusting it, or maybe it's just not there anymore. We'll see. I hope he does well. I hope he makes things happen down there in Tallahassee because, we've said this multiple times. Just when those blue bloods of college football are playing well, and since, the 80s and 90s, Florida State's turned into one of those blue bloods.
Yep.
I would like to see them work their way back. They don't have to win national titles. Just give me all those teams towards the top.
Well, one thing that Mackenzie Milton, nobody's going to accuse him of is quitting or opting out, anything like that. But God, we have seen a lot of players opting out. People were doing this before they even thought we were going to have a season all summer long. At the beginning of the season, we've seen it almost every single week. There's another player opting out. So we put a Twitter poll out there and said, when does opting out become quitting? Is it at the beginning of the season? Is it halfway through the season? Is it at the very end? Or is it never considered quitting? We basically had a 50-50 split of halfway through and never. My thoughts are, I don't think it's quitting. I think there is a point in time in which it's like, is that really necessary to say that you're opting out? But like the kid from LSU that opted out this past week, it's like, was there really a necessity? Or Chuba Hubbard did that as well. What's your thoughts on opting out? Is there a point in time where it's considered quitting on your team?
Yeah, like if the guys that opted out before the season, those made sense. Those are some of the top NFL prospects, and I get it. I was shocked that Trevor Lawrence up there at Clemson didn't opt out. I don't know why. He had nothing to gain. Like, he's already considered the number one prospect, and there's no way anybody's going to catch him. So to me, opting out before the season, not a huge deal. What I'm seeing is a lot of these guys here lately, they're opting out when there's a loss of something, whether it's a loss of a chance at a bowl game or a chance at a conference title or things like that. And to me, when you go, you know what, I'm here to do this, and if I can't do this, then I'm done. To me, that's quitting on your team, because there's something about, like, once you start something, you finish something.
Mm-hmm. Matt Kirk, who's hopefully going to be joining us in just a little bit, says Rakeem Boyd quit, definitely didn't opt out. I mean, there's a lot of players like that just kind of said, hey, I'm done for whatever reason. I think it's hard for us to question their reason, as not being in their shoes. But I think there definitely comes a point in time in which you have to think about that. All right, last question, then we got to go to break, and I'm beyond excited about what we have coming up.
I know it's gonna be awesome.
But last question here is, with our kids, there's going to be times where they want to quit things, whether it's I'm going to quit learning how to tie my shoe, or I'm going to quit playing this sport, or I'm going to quit trying at this homework, or I'm going to quit pursuing this girl or guy. For me, I try to not let our kids quit anything. I know that there's going to be times where I have to be okay with them saying, hey, I'm done with this. But I think with their age, with our kids' age, being younger, it's teaching persistence and fortitude, whether it be in test, whatever you want to get into there, but fortitude and just continuing to challenge yourself and to push through obstacles. I think it's so huge right now in the age that they're at. What do you guys do when it comes to having kids toss out the word quit or I can't, or those types of things?
Yeah. The word you're looking for there was grit.
Grit. Yep. Absolutely.
That's the one you want. Basically, I do not allow them to say I can't.
Yep.
If they come and tell me I can't, I say, no, you can do it. And that's something that I've said, as a teacher with students, something I've said with my kids, quite frankly, something I said to my mother not too long ago. Necessity is the how do I word it? Necessity begets innovation. Like, you will figure it out if it needs to get done.
Yep.
And if I do it for you, you never figure out a way to get it done. I don't care if it's the right way or the wrong way. If it's your way and it works, who cares?
Kirk, grit by grit, Butch Jones' new motto at Arkansas State. That's hilarious, Matt. That or brick by brick. I think the champions of life here. All right, Kyle, we got to go to a break, man. When we come back, I am excited to be joined by Macho Man Todd Titan. This is going to be fantastic because he is a Titans fan. They won today, and he's the Macho Man, and we're excited about this. So we're going to go to a quick break on Dad's Watching Sports, and we'll be right back after the break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
In addition to college football picks, one thing dads can't agree on is when to put up the Christmas lights. But what we can agree on is that Christmas lights are awesome. So do you live in the greater Nashville area and love Christmas lights? If so, reach out to the show by emailing dadswatchingsports@gmail.com, and we'll get you set up with tickets to the Dancing Lights of Christmas in Lebanon. Tickets are just $15 for some COVID-approved fun and getting out of the house. All sales benefit the Tennessee Kidney Foundation. So again, email us at dadswatchingsports@gmail.com for more details. Now back to the show.
Kyle, we've had some great guests on this podcast over the course of the year, almost year that we've been doing this. We've had our wives, we've had media members, we've had athletes, former athletes. I can't begin to describe that they are not going to even come in close to comparison.
Whoa, my wife is great.
Your wife is great, and so is mine, but as someone who is a huge Macho Man Randy Savage fan, I am very excited to bring on our next guest, and that is Macho Man Todd Titan. Mach, how are you, sir?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling real good today. Titans got the victory, yeah. But I didn't get to pick my most hated athlete.
Yes.
Can I have a prediction, or can I have a say in that?
You absolutely can. This is your show.
Here are my top 5. All right, here we go. It's Hulk Hogan, and finally number 1. If you're smart, let's see. How about Hulk Hogan? Yeah, all 5. Nobody else. That's it.
Oh, the mega powers exploded and they've never come back.
Never return. Never going to go back. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, Macho Man Todd Titan, man, we are so glad to have you on the show. First off, just tell us a little bit about the Titans. They got a big win today over the lowly stinking Jags. It's been a little bit of an up and down season, but the Titans seem to be kind of maybe trending in the right direction going into the playoff push. What's your thought on the Titans?
Protect the AFC South. Yeah, that's what it's about. Got to protect your division. Yeah, Jacksonville, we give them a little present, a beating today. Derrick Henry gave them yet another 200-yard performance. And, they're well on their way. But first things first, protect the AFC South. Yeah, and then worry about the playoffs later. But definitely got to get some consistency. I'll say that.
Well, a lot of people would say that there have been some surprises. I think that one of the biggest surprises to me this season was the outcome of the game against the Browns. Was last week for the Titans. What's been some surprises that you've seen in the NFL season so far?
Well, that was definitely a shocker. Yeah, last week with the Titans losing to the Browns. But if you're talking teams and you're talking what surprised me and it shocked me, I would say probably the Miami Dolphins is the team that has stood out. No one even expected them to even have a winning record, I don't think. And they're playing really good football right now. Yeah, a lot of intestinal fortitude being displayed down in South Beach. So, I'd say the Dolphins are the team that surprised me most. Yeah.
Okay, what about what's a team that's maybe taken a heel turn on you? Maybe pulled a little Hogan where they just kind of stabbed you in the back, something you didn't expect.
All 31 teams, all 31, because we're 32. All 31 teams, yep. They're all disappointments to the Mach right now and the Titans. That's right. But if I single one out, Dallas Cowboys. That's it. They're terrible. They've been bad all year. Doesn't matter if they don't have a quarterback. It's over. They're done for. Yeah, they're packing it in. They're just a lousy football team right now, but they are the worst. Yeah.
They definitely are. All right, Macho Man. I know that you are also a family man, and this is the Dads Watching Sports. So tell us a little bit about your family life, how it goes there at the Macho Man Todd Titan household.
Well, here at the Macho Man's house, sometimes I can't be in character all the time, so I have to go back to my alter ego. So, a lot of times this is my voice. So now I'm back to me. But, I have a lovely, lovely, beautiful wife, 2 kids. I have a 14-year-old boy and an 11-year-old girl. They are quite embarrassed when I do my impressions and my characters. And even in school, they're getting singled out in class, like, oh, hey, your dad is the Macho Man. And they're like, yeah. Reluctantly, yes, that's the case. They're a little bit embarrassed, but it's awesome. Kids into sports. My son plays basketball. That's his thing. My daughter's in a competitive cheer. Mm-hmm. So if anyone out there is listening to this and don't think cheerleading is a sport, sadly mistaken, my friend, because they are phenomenal athletes. It's unbelievable the things they can do. My daughter's 11 and she'll flip around like it's unbelievable. I mean, and they take bumps and she's broke her arm. It's pretty intense. These competitions are definitely intense for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're all in the greater Nashville area and we have all seen within the past couple of weeks, Sarah Fuller at Vandy, representing for the ladies out there. As all of us have daughters, what was your take on, seeing a girl out there being able to break that barrier and to go out there and play with the boys like that?
I really think it was awesome. I think it was a good experience for her to do that. I wish they would let her like boot one, like really get out there and take a shot at a 35-yard field goal. I think that would have been awesome to see. But I guess it's baby steps. But that's huge for college athletics in my opinion. And it was great the way they kind of rallied around her too. I thought the team did an awesome job by, meeting her on the sideline and things like that. But I would like to see her take a good shot, like a 35-yard or something, or something maybe a little bit closer, if they weren't comfortable. But it's Vandy. Come on, you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. Yeah,
and Vandy, you live by the field goal there.
That's right. Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, so you got to talk to us about this Macho Man Todd Titan character. Where'd the idea come from? How long have you been doing it? Where does the motivation? I mean, I clearly know where the motivation comes from, but how do you get the promos going and all that?
Well, the whole gimmick started. It was about like a little over a year ago. It was Halloween, and I had to get a character. I was like, I got to go some with a beard and some glasses, and ordered my costume. Had the hair and the bandana and the glasses, and I put it on, and my wife's coming home, and I put it on, and I just banged out the impression. I was like, here's what's going to happen. Yeah, Marcus Mariota's going to do this. So I did this impression, I'm hitting it, and she's like, oh, can you do a video for my work? And she's in marketing anyway. So I do this quick prediction. She sends it to her work friends, and she puts it on Twitter, and it got like 15,000 hits on Twitter. And it was raw. Like it was one take, that kind of deal. And we got a lot of good response, a lot of positive responses where people are like, oh, it takes me back to when I was a kid. I love the Macho Man, do another one next week. So, then, she kind of took over and said, hey, here's what's going to happen. We're going to keep going. Let's do this thing again. So then at that point, with the impression, I didn't really realize it was going to be as good as it was or as accurate as it was. So then I had started working on, the glasses touch, and maybe not paying attention. You got to look around a little bit, and point a little bit, and the fingers, you have to do a lot of that. So I started working on just the mannerisms and things like that for the character. But we do predictions every single week. Every single week I'll throw one out, and like I said, I get a lot of good feedback, a lot of positive feedback. People tend to enjoy it and makes them feel good, makes them laugh, makes people happy at least, even if your team's not doing so well or if they lose. I get a lot of hate mail too. So
I gotta ask, what does the hate mail consist of? Like, what are people upset about?
It's usually rival teams.
Okay.
We actually did one where it was my wife's brother-in-law, and I made him put a Steeler. It was my wife's brother. Sorry, my brother-in-law. But I made him put a Steeler jersey on. Okay. And I snuck up behind him and, smacked him with a chair. So I hit him like with a steel chair. And it took like about nine takes probably for that one. And he was like, no, you can hit me a little harder. And I'm like, all right, brother, here we go. I mean, I'm doing it the right way. I'm going knee to the shoulder, I'm like, here's going to happen, bop. I nail him. And then, after about 9 takes, the next day he was like, man, I am really sore. And I'm like, I bet, because I got you pretty good. But
that's great.
That one ended up hitting. It got about 40,000 hits on social media. So a lot of people like seeing me get hit. But then I got a lot of Steelers fans that come back and said, yeah, we won. And they were a little more hateful than that. But, I don't respond. I'm like, all right, we take a beating too. It happens. Lose some games sometimes.
That you do, man. That is absolutely hilarious. Well, tell everybody where they can find your content that you put out weekly before the games.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook at Macho Man Todd Titan and on Twitter, Macho Man Todd Titan. I do a prediction every single week. Usually it's going to be predicting the Titans to win. I'll never admit defeat ever in my entire career. And I expect to be doing I'll maybe do the show on Super Bowl weekend when the Titans are headed there. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
No doubt about it. All right, well, before we let you go, we got to talk a little wrestling since it is your character. Kyle, I'll let you jump in here in just a second, but I just got to know, like, top Macho Man moments. Clearly you're a huge Macho Man fan. Any moments that stand out, or do you go back and watch clips of him to be able to do the studying for the gimmicks and the promos?
I do. I actually I do a lot of YouTube research, or just look up like little promos he's done, and I'll try to take a snippet here or a snippet there and try to apply that to the Titans games.
Yeah.
I got a couple. Probably got two big moments that I really like with the Macho Man. One, obviously Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3, phenomenal. They performed outstanding, put on a great show. They built it up nice, with the crushed larynx. Ricky Steamboat, might never talk again. And Savage was so good, and it was just such a great match. I think probably one of the best ones of all time, if you're watching WrestleManias. But and then the other one, as much as I hate to say it, it's the mega, when the mega powers, when they had the handshake to get it in. I don't know if I want to trust him, but I'm going to. And then it exploded, and that was just a great storyline of you're fighting over the girl. And so I just thought that was awesome, how he just flipped the switch. Macho Man was larger than life. He'd be on my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers right now. If I had 4 to pick, Randy Savage, the Macho Man, is on there. He could do it all. Wrestle, promos, heel, face, didn't matter. He did it all. Larger than life character. But those are probably my two biggest moments. But he had a lot of them. I mean, all of my matches are great. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can rank them all you want. They're all number one.
Kyle, you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's that 92 to really WrestleMania 7 and the build up to it, up to WrestleMania 8. You get Savage and Warrior retirement match at 7. Warrior wins. Queen Sherry goes crazy. Elizabeth comes in, runs her out. There's the reconnection of Elizabeth and Savage. We go to SummerSlam. We got the match made in heaven with the wedding. Savage then turned, we had the reception, and that's when Jake Roberts, gives them a snake or whatever for their wedding gift, and Savage ends up getting bit by the cobra in the ring on, I think it was a Superstars episode. Look, I know this one, right? Savage has to come out of retirement. He has to be reinstated. That's the word they use.
Yeah.
And he gets rid of Jake the Snake just in time for WrestleMania 8, where he goes on and he defeats Ric Flair at WrestleMania 8 for the title. His second, it's a beautiful year-long story for Savage.
Sounds like you're a sentimental guy. Kind of like the love story. Probably watching Hallmark movies right now after the show. Turns one on. He likes the snowfall and the kiss at the end. I don't know. All about the love in Kyle's house over there. It's all about love.
Kyle's a big Bachelorette fan. So
yeah, he likes the build-up. Likes a little love story. Wants a little, it's rags to riches. It's all over. Nothing's going to happen. Here I come, and I save the day, and I get my woman back. Yeah. And as the snow gently falls on the Hallmark. That's right. I can see it now, Kyle. I can see it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Go ahead, Mike. You're Macho Man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we have one of our watchers and listeners said, "Can you please say snap into a Slim Jim?"
Of course I can. Snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So one thing I wanted to bring up is I don't know, like I haven't watched wrestling consistently in quite a while, but I did see this past week that Sting has made a return to the was it AEW. Yeah. So the Stinger is back. One of your old rivals back in the day. What do you think about Stinger coming
Stinger
back?
looks good. He looks good. Yeah, he's back. AEW. I'm sure he's going to wrestle very limitedly. Limited schedule for him, but yeah, good for him to be back. I think he got a raw deal on in the WWE. Yeah, he was 0-2 there. Lost both matches he was in, and yeah, I didn't like that. They disrespected the Stinger. Yeah, but I'm glad to see him back. Yeah, it'll boost those ratings as well. That's a good product. AEW is a good product right now. Yeah, they got some really good athletes over there.
Well, Macho Man Todd Titan, man, we can't thank you enough for coming on, talking about the Titans, talking about some little wrestling. But I guess one last thing here, and we'll let you go. So the Titans won 31 to 13, 31 to 10 over the Jags today. So what's your message to the Jaguar Nation after that beatdown today?
Well, it's just like I promised in my prediction. Yeah, I knocked them all the way back to week number 2. Yeah, your dream of the number 1 draft pick stays alive. All you got to hope for now is the Jets win. Yeah, but Jacksonville never liked you, still don't like you, and you're in my rearview mirror right now. We're looking forward. Yeah, I believe it's Green Bay next week. Aaron Rodgers, you drew the short straw, my friend. Yeah, not going to happen. Green Bay's going down next week. We might even injure some people next week. Just to make sure. Might as well just injure them and get them out of there.
Might take a chair. That's right.
Might have to take a chair, but be looking for that promo. Be looking for that prediction.
Yes, and look up Macho Man Todd Titan on Facebook and Twitter to get that promo. Mach, it's been great. Thanks so much for coming on the show, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Dig it. Tighten up.
That's right. Absolutely. All right, Kyle, we are going to go to a break, and when we come back, we got some burger challenge, which I'm very excited about. We'll be back after the break.
Coming up next week on Dad's Watch. Wait, there is no episode next week. That's right. We're taking off the rest of 2020 to do dad stuff and get ready to bring all of you dads out there some fresh new content for 2021. Now, don't worry. We'll be back for season 2 on Sunday, January 3rd. So make sure you stay tuned. And during the break, go back and catch a previous episode of the show, or just all 44 of them. We'll see you in 2021, dads.
We're listening to Dad's Watching Sports.
Now back to the show.
All right, welcome back here to Dad's Watching Sports. Special thanks to Macho Man Todd Titan for joining us. That was awesome. So we have got a special presentation here that I'm very excited about. Let me set this up before we bring in our special guest. So you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, Kyle had this on their trip to Los Angeles for his son Jack's nut allergy treatment. Kyle had this fabricated story of In-N-Out Burger being this delicious place to eat, and I called him out on it and said, there's no way, man. Whataburger is the way to go. And it just started this burger challenge war. Whataburger versus In-N-Out. We've gotten a lot of feedback on both Twitter, Instagram, even on Facebook a little bit about people that go either way, that like either or. But we figured we would call in the expert for this, and we are, there's only a handful of places in the world that have both Whataburger and In-N-Out within driving distance, and so we are bringing in the man, the myth, the legend. Matt Kirk is back on Dad's Watching Sports. Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
We're good. Welcome back, first off, and I'm very excited for you to be taking this burger challenge.
Like the McRib, I'm back, baby.
That's right. Absolutely. Okay, so I kind of set it up on why we're doing this. So tell everybody what you've got there before you dig in.
Well, I will tell you this. First off, Kyle's kid has a nut allergy, but I bet he's allergic to Kyle because Kyle is a nut. If he thinks that In-N-Out is any better. I mean,
it's well played.
So first off, I got just the regular, just a burger. Okay. And I did it without tomato and I added ketchup just because. Now, first off, let me tell you the price difference here. In-N-Out burger. In-N-Out burger without tomato and add ketchup. You're sitting at a grand total of $7.14. And for my Whataburger, you're looking at $6.47.
Okay. Okay. So Whataburger wins the price.
And this.
Okay. And you get a fry. Okay. Nice.
Well, I did that just, I feel like you got to compare the fries, to go with the burger because that's just what you got to do.
That's right.
Plus, our sponsor is paying for this, so I figured,
Also true.
And then this is the burger you get from In-N-Out. It's very small compared to my hand.
Yeah.
And then the Whataburger swallows my hand.
Oh, yeah, look at that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Man, that thing is tiny.
That's not the first time I've heard that. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to take the first bite of the In-N-Out burger. Hopefully I'm not in and out of the bathroom the rest of the night.
That's right.
Mm.
Okay. So it seems like initially, good bite there.
I do like the blend of everything. The mustard with the lettuce and the ketchup.
Yeah.
It's pretty good together.
Okay.
I'm going to eat one fry.
So if you've got let's say a 5-star rating and you can do decimal points, what's your just initial star rating for the In-N-Out burger and fry?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Coming into this challenge, I was thinking that the In-N-Out burger was going to be like a 2.5 or a 3, but man, I'm not going to lie. I give that a solid maybe 4.1. Yeah. And now we're going to go with this behemoth Texas-sized Whataburger.
There we go.
Okay, and here we go. Oh my gosh. So, the pickle on the Whataburger is much more thick.
Okay.
It got a good snap to it.
Okay, nice. That's a positive?
Yes, it's got the snap, and then I can taste the ketchup more. It's like more acidic.
Okay, nice.
But
all
anyway,
right. So here we go. We got a one bite each.
I'm going to go with this Whataburger. It's going to get a solid 4.6.
4.6.
Yeah.
Nice.
And well, I'm a big boy, Michael, and I like to eat a lot of food. So this little dinky excuse for a burger is not going to cut it for me. I'm going to go Texas's own Whataburger. And look how big that thing is, Michael.
Look at that.
Look
at that.
That patty.
Nice. Very nice. All right, Mr. Castles, we look forward to your rebuttal. What you got, Kyle?
First off, nobody goes to In-N-Out and gets a single burger. Everybody gets a double. Stop.
Comparing apples to apples here.
No. You got to get what they're known for, and In-N-Out is known for you get the double. You don't put ketchup on it. Like he screwed it all up. So first off, he screwed up the burger. Secondly, like this isn't a real challenge. Matt had already said prior to coming in that he was going to pick Whataburger. It's biased. It's rigged.
No,
it's fake news.
Matt's going to be on in a second to argue his point.
Matt is basically the state of Georgia in the presidential election. That's all I'm going to say.
Matt did his homework, man. He talked about the price. He talked about what was added to it, and he even told me not on the air before we did that. If you couldn't notice, I had a beard during that. Now I don't. He even said that he didn't even get cheese on the Whataburger burger. They actually left the cheese off. So even without the cheese, the Whataburger burger was better. End of discussion.
Look, the only reason he picked the Whataburger is because that man likes having big meat in his hands and in his mouth. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, no, I think you just like the little meat is what it is. And that's why you stick with In-N-Out burger. So we'll bring Matt on in just a second to not only justify his doing, but he's going to help us make some picks as well. Before we get to that, Kyle, a couple of quick things I wanted to get to. First off, I don't know if you saw the story that broke late last week, but there is a Israeli space security chief, a former space security chief from the Israeli military, had some interesting comments about what is being termed the Galactic Federation, where basically they're saying there are aliens. The U.S. knows about it. They've signed an agreement that the world is not ready to know about this yet. Humanity is not ready to know about this yet. When I first saw Galactic Federation, Kyle, all I could think of was these two guys, where they're the viceroys that are trying to do a trade blockade in Star Wars. What is your thought on the possibility of ulterior life out there and that we're not ready to know about it?
Look, this is something that I've had a thought about for a while. And quite frankly, like the universe is this massive thing that just keeps expanding, and there's planets and there's solar systems and there's all sorts of stuff out there. And we have found thousands of planets that could, have life on it, right? That are Earth-like or whatever you want to word it. So to think that we are the only life forms in this vast universe, I think is very arrogant, quite frankly, thought process. Now, did I think they were flying here on a flying saucer? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I wasn't real sure. But hey, look, it sounds like they're here, and I'm off. Tell them to come down. If they got some cool stuff they can teach us, like, let's learn, man.
I think we can definitely handle it. I agree. I mean, I think it's. I don't know. Arrogant. You can use whatever adjective you want. I think that we are definitely not the only ones here, but and we got into some conversations before the show that are way too deep to even bring up on this podcast about, like, is it a saved world that's out there, or is it a broken world like we are? But we'll that's for another time. That's not.
You know what? We knew there were aliens among us. Matt Kirk is here.
Oh, come on, man. I'm gonna have to jump on you here, man, because Matt, I'm telling you, Matt did his homework. He was right.
No,
Matt
is wrong. Matt is wrong.
No,
Matt's wrong.
All right, we're going to take off Kyle, and we're going to bring Matt on here. And
go ahead, bring Matt on.
But before we do that, Kyle, we got to get into one more topic. All right, really quickly, it is the 30th anniversary of the first Home Alone movie. Led me to the topic of top 5 Christmas movies, and yes, this is a teaser because 2021 we are doing Christmas movie bracket, not Christmas song bracket. Stay tuned for that, December 2021. Kyle, I'll let you go with your top 5, and then I'll go.
I'll go 5-1. So at number 5, I have Tim Allen, right, and the Santa Claus. It's a great movie. Number 4, 30th anniversary of Home Alone. Kevin's Home Alone, right? So put Home Alone at 4. At number 3, hilarious movie, Will Ferrell and Elf. Okay. The Yellow Ones Don't Stop. Number 2 is Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase at his best. The monologue there at the end of the movie is hilarious.
Yep.
The characters are so relatable because you can see, like, your family members in each one, and so that's number 2. And number 1 is the greatest Christmas movie ever, and that's A Christmas Story that I don't get to watch near as much because nobody in my family likes A Christmas Story.
Because they're smart. Because it's a terrible, terrible movie.
What are you talking about?
Awful.
Fragile? You're going to shoot your eye out?
It's absolutely awful.
The kid gets his tongue stuck to the pole?
That is the worst movie of all time.
I can't even deal with you right now. What a burger, and you're not going to put A Christmas Story.
My top 5 does not include A Christmas Story, and it wouldn't include In-N-Out Burger either. So let me get you with an honorable mention. And the reason I bring this up is we actually watched this movie tonight with the kids, and it was actually really good. The Star. Which is an animated movie about animals following the star to go to Bethlehem. Really good movie. I would very recommend it for any families out there. Number 5, I've got It's a Wonderful Life. I think that's it's a classic. It's a great movie. Number 4, I like a good rom-com every once in a while, and so I've got Love Actually at number 4.
Oh, now you're going to talk about a rom-com?
Yeah,
I got hammered by Macho Man Todd Titan.
Yes, exactly. Because he's not here to lay the smack down on me. So I'm going Love Actually number 4. Number 3, I've got Christmas Vacation. It is a great movie, very quotable, but I don't think it's as good as the other 2. Number 2, I've got Home Alone, the first Home Alone movie, just absolute classic. And then number 1, man, I've got A Charlie Brown Christmas because it's just the best Christmas movie there.
Look, we talked about best speeches, 2 weeks ago or something, and I said that the Lana's speech in that one's fantastic. But that's the only part I really just love.
Well, what you should love, Kyle, is some Whataburger. And
Get him in here. Get him in here.
We're bringing on Matt Kirk, but I'm going to ask you to be civil, sir.
I'm not doing it
for this.
Welcome back, bruh.
How are you?
I'm here, bruh.
Look at those eyes.
I was in and out of the bathroom all night eating that In-N-Out burger, Kyle.
I'd be scared of those eyes if they weren't so pretty.
I know. That's what my wife says, too.
Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm a little disappointed, Michael. I was hoping to get in on this Christmas movie list.
Okay. Well, no. Go ahead and give us your top 5.
Okay.
Nobody cares about your top 5 because you're wrong.
All right. Kyle has been removed from the Kyle's been removed from the broadcast.
Hey, Michael,
he said he's got a 2-minute timeout for roughing.
Well, his mom likes my top 5.
Oh, easy. Now we can't be talking about Donna now. No,
okay,
not happening.
Sorry.
Not happening.
I'm sorry, Donna. I love you.
There we go.
I'll see you in a little bit.
I'm gonna drive my happy tail to Daggum, Texas, and whip fire out of you, boy.
There we go. All right, let's get to some Christmas movies.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the four Christmases. You can't spell families without lies.
Okay.
We got Home Alone 2,
Okay.
Elf, and Michael. I'm a little disappointed you didn't put this one higher, but I've got Love Actually at 2.
Okay, nice.
And then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation at 1.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, we all had a little Christmas Vacation in there. I mean, it's a classic. That's right. Yes, yes, it is. I'm sure it was after you ate that In-N-Out burger too.
It was.
All right, guys, let's get into, as we finish up the show here, we got some picks. It is championship week in college football. The first game is the Big 12 championship. We've got Oklahoma at Iowa State versus Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. I will go first, and I am going Boomer Sooner. Matt, who you got in this game?
I'm going Iowa State. They have had Oklahoma's they've had their number the last little bit.
Kyle?
Yeah, we got a few rematches here in these championship games, and this is one of them. Shut up, nobody likes you, Matt. And Iowa State actually beat Oklahoma earlier this year, but Oklahoma gets them this time.
All right, so 2-1 in favor of the Sooners. All right, next we're going to the Sun Belt. You've got Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns, versus undefeated Coastal Carolina, who Bailey pulled out a win this past weekend, but were able to get that win. I believe it was against Troy. Matt, who you got in this game?
Well, I'm going to give you what I think, Michael, is probably the best sports quote of all time.
Okay.
You got to be more like a dog. I'm going with Coastal Carolina.
There you go. Kyle.
Yeah, so this is another rematch, and earlier this year, Coastal Carolina beat Louisiana, Billy Napier's Louisiana, I think 31-27, if I remember it right. It was close. It was 3-4 points. And I don't think that Coastal Carolina can actually win this one and be the same team twice this time. And I see Louisiana actually winning this one and taking that Coastal Carolina Cinderella, trying to get to that New Year's Six Bowl, and they won't get it.
I agree. I'm going with Louisiana in that game as well. All right, let's move to the Big Ten. We've got Ohio State and Northwestern. Ohio State in some circles on the outside looking in on the playoff, although with Florida losing this weekend, they've definitely made a better case. But the Buckeyes against Northwestern, Kyle, does Northwestern put everybody's mind at ease and pull off a win and knock Ohio State out, or do the Buckeyes make the decisions very hard by handling Northwestern in the Big Ten championship game?
Number one, the decision shouldn't be hard regardless of what happens in this game. Ohio State wins it, and I think wins it fairly handedly.
Matt?
Yeah, I've got Ohio State by 4 more scores.
Okay. Yeah, I've got Ohio State too. They're going to try to prove a point, and I think they'll be successful in doing that. All right, let's go to the SEC. You've got Bama and Florida. We talked about earlier on the show, Kyle. Florida had a really bad misfortune that where the shoe fell, and the second shoe fell as well, and they ended up losing to LSU this past weekend. Bama has just steamrolled absolutely everyone. I'll go first. I think Bama continues to. I don't think they'll win by more. I'll give them 17, but I think they win pretty. I don't think it's close. Matt?
I'm going to go Florida. I think that they are going to be the underdog. They're going to come in swinging. I think that Kyle Trask is upset how he played last night. And I tell you, if Florida didn't lose that game, they'd be a shoe in for the college football playoff. Very
nice. Kyle, Bama or Florida?
First off, I've missed those Matt puns. TJ, I see you just popped up. I'm glad you're here. You're going to like what I have to say here in a minute. But I'm going Bama. Bama's going to beat Florida. I think Kyle Trask actually makes his point for the Heisman. I don't think Bama steamrolls Florida, like you said, Mike. I think it's close. I think Trask plays well, but I think Bama pulls it out at the end because that's what Bama does.
That is what Bama does. All right, the last game, we're going to ACC. It's a rematch, like you mentioned, Kyle, of a previous game, although Clemson will be fully with all their players in this game as Trevor Lawrence will be back. We've got number 2 Notre Dame at number, 3 or 4 Clemson. I will go first. I am saying that the Fighting Irish once again knock off Clemson. Man, there's just something different about this Notre Dame team. I have not been a believer in Notre Dame since Lou Holtz was their coach. But I think Notre Dame silences all their critics, and they're going to take it. They're going to get a lot of people saying that they're not going to win that game this week after they already beat Clemson. Trevor Lawrence or not, their quarterback did not have a bad game for Clemson. And so I think Notre Dame is going to use that as motivation, and they're going to go in and they'll beat Clemson by a field goal to earn their spot as the number 2 team in the country. Kyle, what do you think?
Well, this is where you're wrong. Clemson's going to win this one. It's not going to be a blowout again. It's going to be close, and that's a big thing. The fact that it's close. It was a close win. It was double overtime the first game.
Yep.
We're going to have another close win, but this time it's going to go Clemson's way. That's a big deal as we get to our top 4, which, foreshadowing.
Hey Kyle, can you do that again for me? That hand motion you did that.
Look, you do that every night.
No, we're stopping right there. We're stopping right there, boys. This is a family show. Matt, ACC championship game, the Irish and the Tigers.
I am going to go with Clemson. I think they're going to blow them out. I think it's going to be a big because Trevor Lawrence is going to be mattered and wet in, and he's going to come in and he's going to be swinging.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. So with those, TJ says he thinks the Tigers will win by 6. I'm guessing he's talking about the Clemson game there. Clemson over Notre Dame. All right, guys. So with those outcomes in mind of what you picked, we will not have this show again, Kyle, until after the semifinals has been played before the national championship game. So, Kyle, your top 4 heading in, and then we'll do the picks here in just a second.
Yeah. So my top 4. And I'm gonna go top to bottom because I think the top 3 are kind of similar for everybody. Obviously, Alabama at number 1. Clemson gets the late win over Notre Dame, so they go at 2. Notre Dame at 3. And here's the deal: you don't get to play 5 games and go to the national semifinals. I don't care who you are. So get Ohio State, get that nonsense out of here. They did not play a soul in those 5 games. I don't care what Northwestern is ranked. Give me the Aggies from College Station at number 4. And yes, that's 2 from the SEC and 2 from the ACC. I don't care.
There you go. I'm sure TJ will be happy. Matt, what is your top 4 given the outcomes of the games you just predicted?
Well, I'm on the same boat as Kyle here. I think it's going to be the SEC on the left and the ACC on the right. The winners of those play for the whole Megillah. I got Bama at 1, A&M 4, Clemson 2, and Notre Dame 3. But I think it's going to be the teams everyone thought were going to be there at the end, be Bama and Clemson for the title.
All right, so you guys think that we'll see Notre Dame and Clemson basically in back-to-back games?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my top 4 is a little different, and based off again what the games that I predicted. So my number 4 team is I also have the Aggies because I had Notre Dame beating Clemson. I think a 2-loss Clemson team does not get in, and so I think Texas A&M would slide into that spot at number 4. Number 3, I do have Ohio State, and I completely agree with you, Kyle, in the fact that 5 games is not enough, and Northwestern is not going to be a good opponent. But I just think that the committee is not going to care. And they're going to say, you know what, it doesn't matter. This has been a weird year. We have the excuse that we can say it's a weird
Wait. We got to stop right there. Matt, pull that cup back up and show everybody the pretty writing on your cup.
There's no writing on my cup.
Oh, you dirty, dirty liar. Go ahead and turn the cup.
What?
Go ahead and turn the cup to the other side.
We wouldn't turn it up.
Okay.
That's going to pull the water out.
Okay. Whatever. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So I've got Ohio State at number 3 because I think the committee's not leaving them out, guys. If they win the Big Ten championship, you can say what should happen, but it's not going to happen. Ohio State will be there. I've got Notre Dame at number 2 and Alabama at number 1. So then my matchups would be in the Rose Bowl. It'd be Ohio State and Notre Dame, Sugar Bowl, Bama and A&M. And I would take Ohio State beating Notre Dame and Bama beating A&M to match up in the national championship game. We've already heard Max going with Clemson and Bama. Kyle, do you have Clemson and Bama as well?
So Notre Dame won the first one. Clemson won the second one. Notre Dame's going to win the third one, and we're getting Bama Notre Dame in the national title again. Sorry, TJ, I got your Aggies to the semifinals, but they're not going to beat Bama. It looks
TJ
like
agrees. TJ said gig 'em, but I don't see A&M winning against any of those teams.
Yeah,
in other words, he's saying gag them.
Well, could be.
So Bama Notre Dame national title, and I think we all know where that one's going to end up.
Yep. Well, it's going to be fun to watch it all play out. And as I mentioned, we will be back for season 2, episode 1 before the national championship game. So we'll get our thoughts on what it's going to look like when, of course, we see Bama versus Ohio State, which is what I've predicted, because, of course, that's what's going to happen because I've done such a great job of picking games all year long. You notice, Kyle, we haven't brought back up the rankings.
I know. I'm wondering why that's not being brought up.
Because, man, facts don't matter. The facts are optional on this show. Yes, Matt.
Obviously, because Matt picked Whataburger over In-N-Out.
Now I do want to say this, Kyle, that Whataburger, hands down, that they are slower. They took me forever to get my food. In fact,
they're all slow. Yeah.
I text Michael at 7:42. That's when I pulled into Whataburger to get my food. Didn't get home till 8:10. But even though with all that, even though they left off the cheese, their ingredients, their condiments are fresh. The pickles had a crisp. The lettuce was crispy. It gave me that crunch when I bite into the burger that says, holy smokes, what is going on in your mouth? Because that was the best thing I've ever had in my mouth, I'll tell you that. Plus, that burger, Kyle, is as big as my hand. I think that Michael took that part out.
No, I did. No, I showed it. Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because the Whataburger was as big as my hand, and I got some pretty good-sized hands here. If you want me to get up the tape measure, I can. But
all I can say is to the dads out there, we're going to leave the conversations about as big as my hands and things inside my mouth for 2020, and going on to 2021, there will be no more of that.
Okay. Well, then I have one more thing to also say.
Yeah.
When it comes to these aliens you guys were talking about, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to call it. There is going to be another Coneheads, but it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be real life, because there's going to be something happening, and there's going to be a Conehead out there, and it's going to – I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Dan Aykroyd is I think he was completely right. I think there's going to be a Conehead.
If there is, Matt, we'll come to you and be like, man, you called it. You absolutely called it.
Yep.
All right, guys, just very quickly in just 1 or 2 sentences, Matt, we'll start with you. What's your Christmas plans with the family this year?
Man, we are just going to be low key. It looks like that my mom and we're going to hang out with my brother, and then we're going to do Christmas Day with my wife's family and do our Christmas morning here at home with the kid.
Kyle?
Well, I got surgery coming up Thursday, which is why we're not getting one more episode in 2020. For those listeners that don't know, I know I wear the 2 earpiece thing, but this left one here, I hit the mic. I can't actually hear anything out of this left ear, so I'm getting a cochlear implant on Thursday, and so I'll be down for a couple days, few days. But then we're going to see just a little bit of family. I think we're going to see most of my wife's family, but I got some family that I don't feel like really take this this pandemic too seriously. So we're going to kind of hang back from part of my family. I don't think I'm going to see my mom's mom because she just doesn't want to be around people. So we'll see. But I don't think I'll be seeing a lot of my family over this Christmas.
There you go. Well, Drapers are just we're going to the lake with some family, and that's about it. So
I bet you're going to get your vasectomy reversed, Kyle.
No, that's never happening.
Okay,
no, it is not. Well, guys, we've enjoyed it. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy New Year. Dads Watching Sports will be back in 2021. That's right. We're taking off the next 2 weeks. We'll be back on January 3rd, 2021. Kyle, Matt, it's been a fun time as always. We'll see you next year on Dad's Watching Sports. Y'all take care.
We'll see y'all next year.